Hey guys, what's up? How's everybody doing? Everybody's doing okay. I'm going to get into this tonight. Got some interesting stuff to share with you guys. Yeah. Hey, do that third line, Dennis. Yep, you were first, bud. You were first. That's what I'm talking about. Grass, GPS, good to see you. Already said hi to third line, but hi again. Like the red hair. That's pretty cool. Constance, what's up? Cherry Boo, hey, ain't seen you in a minute. Good to see you in here. Jacqueline Tester, do that. That's right. No more Muse. It's do that for you. Remember. Yeah, me and Mark made a mistake, guys. We were calling her by the wrong pronoun. We thought she was a dude. And I think I'd been corrected on that once before anyway. And I kind of just fall back. I try to remember your guys' screen names, but yeah, I do. It's hard though, guys. I really want to have a personal connection with all you guys. That's why I try to remember your names, and because I care about that, because I don't want to be just some stupid idiot out here with a hillbilly accent trying to show people, the sun farting all over Earth. Just saying. Hey, what's up, shits and giggles? Captain, Thinker, Bob Dobbs, Diane, Nicole, Edmund, Indigo. There you are. Hey, Renee. Hey, what's up? B-Team, Rick, Constance, Megan, Major B, Love, Darcy. Okay, guys. Hey, Tab, what's up? So I am going to go ahead and get into this. I'll leave the chat up here for a while. Again, this is going to be a more laid-back type of stream. That's just what we do here. Hopefully you guys are noticing what I'm doing with the channel here. And that would be, I'm trying to put out more of my old type of recorded video in the morning. Hey, Ricky, what's up? Rebel, Brandon, Jason, Kim Possible, The Awakened Pay, what's up? Lenora. Let's see here. Carrie, hey. Yep, Fogelfam, that's right. Denise, good to see you. Bean, hey, what's up, Bean? What's up, Bean? Brown Yoda's making the sun fart. Yeah, exactly. That's cool. Cool. Hey, Bean. Penny. Dr. Phil. Man, I need your help. Jerry, Mark Pyers, my brother. What is happening? What's cracking? Sun's cracking some farts at us. I guess we could talk about. IG, what's up? So yeah, guys, before we start this, I do want to... Hey, Taylor, what's up? I'm going to give a little bit better of an explanation on my chat rules, because I think it needs to be, I think we need to be really clear on what we're talking about here. I'm setting up a room right now just for me and my mods. that way we can have, communication and stuff in the background, and we don't have to worry about talking about, chat stuff that happens, because it's going to happen, guys. I mean, it's just the way that this works. And that way we can talk about things and really see what we need to do to improve, or to talk about somebody that was being kind of crazy and all that kind of thing. But I want to go over, they're very simple, but I want to elaborate on one of these points, okay? I pride myself here on this channel of letting everybody have a voice. Okay, so I want to explain what I mean by that. And first thing you can't do is use vulgarity. That's a given. Okay? Second thing is, you cannot break terms of service for YouTube. Whatever their rules are, you break that term of service, and I have no choice but to get you out of there. Because if that continues, it can actually affect the whole room. Obviously threats are not allowed. We get that, right? We can have difference of opinion. We can have different religions in here. We can state our religious beliefs. But we cannot attack each other personally. Okay, but there's a way to attack somebody personally by not directly doing it. It's passive aggressive, okay? And all of us are adults and we know what that is, right? And it happens a lot. And unfortunately, that becomes a decision that my moderators have to make, and that's a hard decision to make sometimes. So just let me make it really, really clear. This is just an example. One example would be somebody coming in here and say, yo, you're just a stupid fat hoe, or something like that. We all know that's a direct, cut on somebody personally. The other way that you can do that, which is, in my opinion, just as bad, almost worse because you're kind of hiding behind your words, that would be to say, well, I'm a Christian, okay? So we'll use that. Say I'm a Christian, and we get somebody in here that doesn't believe in that, and that's cool. That's what I want. I want us all to have our own opinions and be able to voice them. But to say it like this, well, Christianity, that's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard of in my entire life. It's ridiculous. That's passive aggressive. Okay, because you have made a cut on every Christian that was sitting in this room. Now we could go, we could say Muslim, we could say Hinduism. I mean, you can do the same thing for everything. We can't do that. You can attack the idea by stating your beliefs and why you think it's wrong the other way. But you can't come in here and say, hey, what you believe is stupid. That's a direct, yeah, you can't do that. I mean, I'm sorry, you just can't do it. And nobody's ever going to, listen to you if you do that anyway. I don't get any kind of positivity or any kind of good things come from that. So, I just wanted to clarify that, okay? So, my mods know what they're supposed to do, and they do a really good job with it. And if that's broken, you get warned verbally here in the chat. The second thing is a timeout, and then the third time's a boot. By the time you get to that third one, you are doing something that's wrong. Now, if it's taken out of context, please email me, and I will go back and look at the chat and look at that, okay? I see a lot of other chat rooms, and nobody ever has the freedom to say what they want, So I'm trying to give everybody a place to be able to do that so they can ask their questions in a respectful way and maybe even challenge us on some of the things that we think that's happening. And it helps us be better. And then the fourth thing I would say here, guys, is we make mistakes. I make mistakes daily. People are going to make mistakes in here in the chat. We're not unforgiving people here. All you got to do is email me, and we'll try to take care of it. That's all I'm saying. Our mods have a hard job in here sometimes because the genre of what we talk about here really drags in a lot of people that are really polarized in their ideas. They're passionate. I get that. But we have to tame that down, because if you start insulting people or insulting what they believe, and not just insulting, you're insulting, that's the word there. Not saying, hey, I think that this is wrong because of this, this, and this. You don't have to insult people to say that. Okay? It's very, very passive aggressive. We all see it in here. We all know who does it when it happens. So, please don't question that. I'm not going to, come in here and get all over my moderators for booting somebody that's, they seen somebody get attacked passively. Okay, but I also want to say I need my mods to really follow that. I want people to give them as much freedom as you possibly can, please. That, like I said. And then you can't attack another creator. That's the only other thing. So I hope you guys understand that. And I really don't want to have to say this again, because it's taking time away from what we're doing here. So that's really what I wanted to say there. I just had to clarify that because there's been a couple issues. Somebody can say whatever they want to say about somebody's religion as long as they're just saying, hey, I think that religion's wrong because of this reason, and this reason. Not, hey, I think people that believe in that religion are stupid and they don't know what they're talking about. That was a very broad statement, but it was passive-aggressive to everybody that believed that in the chat room. You see what I'm getting at? So please, just have some understanding, guys, okay? And for the most part, we have a good time. And it really hasn't been much of an issue. I've had a really good experience here with you guys so far. So thank you guys. Thanks to the mods. Thanks to all the subscribers. I really do. I really, truly appreciate it. I like to just help. I like to help people out and give people a voice where they probably don't get that elsewhere. I mean, I see some people, you can't say one word sideways and you're gone. You know, and that is whatever. It's their channel, and I get it. They're allowed to do that. And I kind of respect that if that's what they've told everybody's going to happen. But I'm telling you something different here on this channel. So let's just try to do it that way and see what we get, okay, guys? I really appreciate you guys for understanding that. And mods, you guys have a tough job. Thank you for doing what you're doing for me and everybody in the chat room. I love all you guys. Hey, Ricky. Hey, Axe, Jerry, Missy. What's going on, guys? IG, Candace. Hey, what's up? Dennis. If I missed anybody, I am sorry, but I am going to go ahead and get started here. So, yeah. And again, first thing I want to say here, guys, I do this, I should, you know, it would be more effective in the middle, but I don't want to stop what I'm talking about to do this. I'm just going to bring this one up, I think, right now. Okay, there's a recent donators, okay? I just wanted to show this. I've been showing a donation list. I really do appreciate this, guys. It is really helping me. So thank you for those that have been doing this for me. It was not expected, none of it, and it's never expected. Know that you don't have to do any of this. I just want everybody that has to know that it has really touched my heart. It's really relieved a lot of stress for me. Because I hope to make this better. I really do. I want to get some webcams. I want to get a desk for a room in there. Basically set up a little studio so I can really give you guys some good quality content. That's really what I'm shooting for. Plus, it just helps me in my life. I mean, I don't like to come out here and just talk about negative stuff with my life, and I don't want to push that on you guys. But thank you for all those that do donate. Here is my PayPal link. And that's all I'm going to say about it. So if you guys want to help out, there you go. And I really do appreciate it. No, I think you misunderstood, Lisa. And that's what I was trying to explain. If you believe in something, and somebody comes on here and says, people that believe in that are stupid, dumb, and ridiculous. They're calling everybody that believes in that stupid, dumb, and ridiculous without saying it directly to them. That's my point there. That's the difference. That's the only difference, really. You can't. It's as simple as passive aggressiveness. So, yeah. We are going to get in there now. Okay. Hopefully everybody can kind of understand that. I don't like to single anybody out, and I won't. But I do want to make sure that everybody understands that rules. Subs and moderators, everybody. Okay. Schumann resonance. This here, guys, it's not been doing much. Okay. It has definitely just been kind of blah. I mean, look at it. It's not doing a whole lot of anything. Matter of fact, the past, 12 hours here, 10 hours, it's been even less active than what it was here. We are still getting these dash signatures. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but something's causing it. It's happening on different frequency lines and everything. So if you guys are feeling, ringing in your ears, this is where I come first. You can take it a lot further than that. I showed you guys a heart institute that now takes this in consideration when they're doing heart surgeries. When they're diagnosing people, they take this in consideration. So, that's exactly what they're doing here. That should speak volumes that this thing is very important. And that's why I show it first. And that's why I show it every video. Because it does affect all of us. All the time. Every day. When this thing is messing up, I don't even want to call it messing up. When it's just not what we're used to with the 783 Hz, we start acting crazy. Okay? Okay, space weather news. This is where it starts getting a little bit more, yeah, sorry, I got distracted there a little bit. I'm not sure why that's not. Give it a second to load here, guys. Not sure why that's not doing its thing there. Let me go to my live stream and see what we kind of got stream health. Says I got good. It's not excellent, but well, let's do this then. I'll go here. I will oh, there it went. Okay. So, X-rays, that would be solar flares, right? You can see we just had one just about an hour or two ago. What did that do? See what happened here? See the baseline kind of? We get this flare and now our baseline's up here. So what that means is, from this point forward, at least until this drops back down, any kind of little flaring we get is going to put us in the C class. And even just like a little medium one will put us up in the M class. So we got to understand that, you know. The proton flux does look like, this is what we talk about with radiation storms. It does look like it's dropping back down and kind of settling back in. Okay? That's one thing that I'm glad that that's happening. This doesn't typically affect us here on the planet because it doesn't usually get down to the surface. Okay? Not a whole lot of it to where it's going to bother us. Now, if we get into an S5 storm or something like that, obviously, yes, we would have to have another discussion. But typically, it's people that are in planes on higher latitude, and satellite issues happen sometimes, and the astronauts really have to take this in consideration. You know, when we're talking about radiation, this is why they have such a hard time getting a manned mission to Mars. You know, we all know about the Van Allen belts. And believe it or not, you know it's one of the best filters for that kind of thing? Water. So, if they could somehow figure out how to put a thin layer of water around a spaceship or something like that, I guess would possibly work. I don't know exactly, obviously. There's a lot smarter people than me out there talking about that. Geomagnetic activity. This is where it gets kind of strange for me. We're really, really low. We're running low, very, very low active situation here geomagnetically. Our activity is really in the basement. And like I said, guys, they're probably going to issue some sort of cosmic ray alert because this has now lasted for a day. Now, we did get a little bump right there, but I don't think that's enough to bring us out of any kind of an alert. That would have to be, you know, sometimes it'll bump us up to 2 and stay there for about 6 hours. Then yes, we can take the alert away. But when we're having it like this for longer than, you know, 24 hours, cosmic rays get in easier when there's no geomagnetism to help, you know, deflect and block it. But we also don't want to be up here for obvious reasons. You know, we don't want to have big, huge geomagnetic storms because then we're talking about power outages and everything else. First look at the sun here, guys. Oh, by the way, hi MJ. How you doing? Conspiracy Realist, what's up? This is the first look at the sun, and we're getting this training right here of sunspots still. Sunspot after sunspot after sunspot in this latitude on the sun. Now, keep in mind that, you know, we got this coronal hole right here too that we are probably now connected to. So in about 3 to 4 days, we're going to start seeing issues from this. We're going to start seeing higher solar wind, speed, and density. And I'm going to show you something here in just a few minutes that's really going to, it's got me kind of, it's odd. You know, I've not seen it do this before when we're talking about the magnetosphere. We'll talk about that when we get there. But notice these coronal holes, those spew out charged particles. And they get here by our connection to the sun, the IMF lines, interplanetary magnetic field lines. That's the road that they take. So when these open up, they all jump on that road, they get on that bus, and they're coming to Earth. It's just what happens. And they come at different speeds and densities. And different durations too. Guys, I need to go back and show you guys a true coronal hole. We've had coronal holes that, look at my mouse here, watch. That, you know, we got the northern one that's always there and the southern. But we've had coronal holes go this far and cover up that much of the sun. That's happened, okay? And so that, obviously, that's not the best conditions for us because we get pummeled. Okay. This is visible light. That's a sunspot. This is an active area. This is that big sunspot that we've been talking about for over a week that was over here. It's now getting ready to rotate off, but it hasn't rotated off yet, so we can't let our guard down quite yet on that one. So, ACE data. Density, extremely low. Okay? This is definitely an extreme low dense stream. Okay? The wind speed itself isn't getting up over 450, which is not, I mean, it's slightly elevated. If you wanted to go directly in the middle, that's about 300 kilometers per second, okay? And at the high end would be about 500 of normal. Anything above that, typically we'll see hits on our magnetosphere if we see that. Now with density, anything over about a 4, we can see hits, right? Now, this is the phi angle. This is, you know, this is the polarity of the solar wind. It travels on that magnetic connection line, remember? So it has to have a positive side and a negative side. So when that decides it wants to flip, this is what we see right here. And when it does that, sometimes we'll get a little jerk on our magnetic field. Up here. We're talking about angle here of the way that the particles and stuff are coming in. When it's in the negative, that means that that's better conditions for it to come in. When it's in the positive, obviously it's the opposite. Now, if it's right in the middle, then we can talk about being average type of stuff. Okay, Enlil model. This right here is what I'm saying about a high dense thing coming at us. Stereo A did experience that. That came to fruition. They did get this high dense material on Stereo A. Now, I don't know what kind of effects it had on this satellite, if any. It could have bounced it around or whatever, but what I can tell you is it's still operational. So it didn't have anything like that to do with that. But it did definitely get hit with that high dense material. Notice how these things are mirroring each other. It's the same thing hitting us, coming from the same source. So let me put this in motion, and I'll take you to where we're at right now, which is about right there in time. Okay, notice how at Stereo A the wind speed's still high. See here on the spirograph? Again, that's Stereo A, this is Earth, and the same up here. And then this is Earth's side view. So on and about the 8th, that's expected to be here. Okay? So when that does pass through us, we're going to have to watch that. But I want you guys to see this. This is now saying 70, not 50. That means that it got, you see this mark right here? That's 70, I think. That would be 80 at the top. Because the 50 is right here. No, I'm wrong there. That's 50, 60, 70s at the top. Sorry. So yeah, but regardless, we don't hardly ever see it get that high. Look over here. The spirograph don't even show anything that high ever. A little thin black line of dense particles there. We should experience that, guys. I'm pretty confident that that's going to happen because it happened to Stereo A, and this was being shown way out here. We watched it come. So we're going to have to, really pay attention to it. Okay? Now, Aurora. Probably not going to see a whole lot here because we're just not having any kind of solar wind to really give us any kind of aurora. This is pretty normal stuff here. So I'm not going to waste much time on that. Notice how the proton flux here, guys, is coming back down. You see this? This is another indication. The red and green lines are going to be on top of each other again, which means the radiations really came down. Here's the absorption model. This is when we get flares. This is showing you where we're having our atmosphere get ionized. And we get radio blackouts and stuff when we get hit with flares. So, and when you see that thing go black, I do think that that is a tool flaw there, because it shouldn't blink like that. But let me take you to this here real quick. Okay, that was that flare. There's the bigger one, okay? That bigger one I just showed you right there is this one here. Notice the location. Over there, New Zealand, Australia, you know, Indonesia. But that flare right there is being shown right here. Okay? That's what that is. So, yeah. Okay. So, we'll move on here. I'm going to come back to this because obviously, guys, that looks all kinds of crazy, doesn't it? I'm going to do this a little bit backwards this time, okay? This is the Australian model. This is the 5th, okay? We got about 2 hours on the 5th right now. You see our bow shock how it's way out here? Why is that? Well, the density is not high at all, okay? Matter of fact, it's reading 0. It's still density, it's just not able to take it down to the hundredths. This is the tenths, right? So, it can't show us that. This model isn't set up like that with this. But what it can show us is visually where our bow shock is, and that's why it's way out here. Because we're able to push back a lot harder against the sun and the solar wind when the density is low, and so is the wind speed's kind of normal. See it? 370. So let's see what it did on the 4th, because that's really today for us. It's still the 4th where I'm at. But on the 5th, it's showing you UTC time. This is what this goes off of, right? So look what's happening here. You see, it's really, I mean, it's going out, it's coming back in and staying for a minute. It is bouncing around something crazy. And I do have to say this, for this to stay out here this long, I don't know that I've personally ever seen a low dense event like this last this long. We've seen it go off the screen before, and I've talked about that. But this is kind of crazy. Now, I know I think we've seen a, maybe I think I might have seen one about 6 months ago, like a day or two there, where we had really, really low dense around our planet. We have no pressure when that happens. And no pressure around us sometimes can be just as bad as a lot, because we're still trying to push out some. So it can actually, in my opinion, it can actually help cause some earthquakes, because we're still pushing out. And if we ain't got nothing to hold us in place, you know, just my train of logic there, I guess, is telling me that stuff would move around, or could. So with an already, you know, volatile seismic condition stuff that's been going on, you add that into the mix, and, you know, we could have some issues. So I would be, you know, I would be paying attention right now to earthquakes. Just my opinion. We should all the time anyway, but, you know, we'll watch that again. See how it just stays out here? Again, I've seen it go all the way off and completely disappear, but I've not seen it stay out here this long. It stayed out there for hours. So, and it still is. That's current right now. Geoelectric field model, we're not going to see much here, but I'll show it to you anyway. See that right there? That most likely was that flare that happened over in Australia, and it just kind of wrapped around a little bit, and we got a little blast from it right there. And something else this could be, don't forget that we get cracks in our magnetic field often. They stay there for the most part. They just kind of move around a little bit. That could be some of that. I'm not sure. But for me, this happened right around the same time as that flare, so it definitely could be that also. Nothing big, though. Nothing big at all. Matter of fact. I almost didn't even show you that one today. Okay, so, on the 4th, this is our view. This is on LASCO C2, which sits out right in front of the Earth, and it looks at the sun. That's all it does. It's about 1 million miles closer to the Earth than what to the sun, I'm sorry, than what we are. So, but it's always there. It's in geosynchronistic orbit. It's looking at, no, not geosynchronistic orbit. It's always looking at the sun, and it stays out in front. It doesn't rotate with the Earth. It stays out there and it orbits the sun with the Earth, but it does not rotate around the Earth or orbit around the Earth like our moon does. Okay? But again, we're seeing a little bit of ejection stuff going on here. Not a whole lot, but yeah, there's some there. So let's go back to the previous day on the 3rd, and this is that CME I was showing you guys yesterday. Now, yeah, give me 1 second here, guys. Look, just watch this for a second, and I'll talk about this while I'm pulling this up. I forgot to load this up. I really wanted to show these to you, so give me 1 second. Scott ran it through his programming right there, and yeah. So we'll take a look at that in a minute. So, let's see here. Yeah, there it is. Let me send this over to my computer real quick, and we'll get to it. But look at that CME. We all think that that's going straight to the left. Well, it's really not. It's actually going off the backside. So let me take you there, and we'll look at stereo A. See that? Let me take you back to the 3rd. There it is right there. Okay? That was substantial. Okay? It's not a little chump there. Yeah, it's not a little chump. So, take that for what it's worth. If that was coming at us, you know, definitely we'd be talking about it. But, guys, it isn't. But it did light something up. And I'm going to show it to you here in just a second. I got to upload it to my Google Photos real quick. I thought I'd done that already, and I didn't. Let me get that up here. Sorry about that. So, this is that CME, and this is something Scott, he ran it through his programming, like I said. Come on. Stupid. But anyway, you can see that, right? I don't know why it's not letting me, well, I guess I can do it there. You guys see that? Obviously. I mean, I think you probably do. I mean, that's just, yeah. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. So, obviously, guys, at this point, like I said, I'm letting the observation speak for itself. Because we really don't have to say much here. It's there. You either believe it's there or you don't. I mean, it's really that simple. You know, I hold the belief that this thing here has a really strong electromagnetic field. And that's why it does what it does to the sun sometimes. Okay? You got two big electromagnetic fields out there interacting with each other. So when that happens, we see stuff like this. You can even kind of see a straight line here, like it might even be, you know, pulling stuff off or connected there or whatever. So yeah. Just thought I'd put that out there and let you guys see that. So I will X out of that. Here's the CME tracker, okay? And what we're looking at here, guys, is that CME I just showed you. But I'm showing you this because this model here is also showing that same high dense particles there that are going to hit Earth. It shows it hitting stereo A, and then right around the 8th, it's showing it hit Earth. So yeah. 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 I'm going to address something here too, okay? I'm going to talk about something here in just a second. It has to do with space weather. I've seen some comments going through there, but I want to address that real quick. Some of the comments I was seeing there about something. You guys will know what I'm talking about here in a minute. I don't like going into this, but I'm going to anyway because it's just completely crazy that, yeah. Anyway, so you're looking at this, right? This is our magnetopause, right? Our magnetic field. I was getting some emails, I don't know, a few weeks back, well, last week. And they were saying that there was some channels out there, or at least one, saying that this was the sun. And I would point you guys back to my other video. I just want to show you guys that that is not the sun. That's the Earth, okay? Some of the statements that were being made around that was just completely false. It's not even... Yeah. So I'm not going to go deep into that, but just know, guys, I mean, you guys, please do your research. You know, that's what I would say. I'm not going to tell you not to believe who, what, when, and where. But I can just tell you and show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so what was happening back then is we had that big blowout back here, right? Last week. Remember? I showed it to you guys. And there was a CME at the same time that we were getting hit here. But that CME had nothing, it wasn't even close to us. It was still 93 million miles away because it had just erupted off the sun. And they were saying that this was the sun, and because of the blowout, it looked exactly like that CME. Well, if this was the sun, what's this? Where's that coming from? Okay, so think about that for a second. We see waves of energy come from that direction all day long. This is not the sun. Okay? I really hope people understand that. And I'm not going to sit here and just start going at people or anything like that. It's just, that really bothered me because people were asking me about that and they were concerned. That's what bothers me. When people get concerned like that, I get 8, 9, 10 emails on the same subject line. I have to say something about it. I can't, it's my responsibility to do that for you guys. You know, typically, if it's just one or two, I will respond directly to them and not even bring it out here on the internet. But when that happens, I know a lot of people are seeing that in what was being said. So, that's what I'm going to tell you, okay? If this was the sun, then there would be nothing coming back from back here doing that, okay? Nothing was matching up there. It just, yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to move on. So, knowing that this is, the sun's off to the right here, I'm going to take you guys back here to this one first. Now, this is where I hadn't really seen these kinds of signatures on this one before. What you're looking at here is another magnetopause model, just like this one, but the sun's off on the left. Okay? And it's not really showing you lines. It's got more of a softer look. It's just a different visual. But it's showing you the same stuff. This one here is velocity. So watch what this does. I'm going to push play. And let me pause it first. I forgot to say that. That's right in the middle. It's like right around zero. In other words, it's really slow material. Right? So I'm going to push play. Watch what goes on here. Okay, now right there is where I really wanted you to watch. You seeing this? see this? The sun's over here. Why is our magnetopause getting and not down on this side, but it's hitting from this side? Why is that happening? You guys see that? That is a wind stream flow that is, in my opinion, not coming from the sun. It really looks like that. I don't know where that's coming from, and it is traveling kind of at an angle from the left. It wasn't coming from the back. You can see it traveling right like that. So I don't know exactly what was going on there. So if we look at that, look at this. See how we're tilted really, really far? And if we look at this one, same thing. So I don't know what's happening there. I've not seen it do this before. Not like this. I've seen some crazy stuff on these magnetopause models, and I typically don't even address it most of the time because sometimes it's just really hard to show people what you're seeing. But this one is just so obvious. You know, look at do you see the angle that we're at right here? Our magnetics kind of moves a little bit, right? We know this. So you see how it's kind of angled this way. So I'm going to take the slide bar. Watch what happens. It legitimately got pushed from that side. You can see it. You know what I mean? So that really just kind of had me floored for a while, just trying to look at that. Now this is the density. Typically we don't see this either, guys. I mean, this is kind of crazy too. This is extremely low dense material. The white is low density. The blue is the higher dense material. So let me pause it, and we'll just grab the slide bar. And I would think that we would start pushing this way too. We'll see. So the density really didn't move a whole lot, but that was the velocity, okay? But check this out. This is the pressure. You guys thought I was kidding when I said we had no pressure around our planet. There is none. Look at that. I mean, that is like non-existent. So I don't look, it went completely away. I mean, it did. This model wasn't able to show any pressure at all. Now, let me say something here, though, too. We're getting some pressure. It's just this model ain't showing it, okay? But look at that. Yeah, where'd it go? Exactly. I mean, come on. I've seen it do this once or twice, but it didn't come with all this. Now, we'll go back over here to this magnetopause model. And what I want you guys to see first is this. You guys see that? That is the magnetic field, or interplanetary magnetic field lines. That's our connection to the sun. Yeah, Candace, you hit it right on the head. You know, because we're always pushing out, right? So if we don't have any pressure, we're pushing out a little bit harder, so it could cause some issues. And I've said it a lot that, you know, no pressure can sometimes be just as bad as high pressure. How would that even happen? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Axe. Listen, look at this. I mean, IMF lines should not be doing that out in front of our planet. Sorry. So let me just reset this here, and we'll get the latest captures here and see what we got. But I'm going to do it this way. Do you see the lines here? the blue lines are what I'm talking about. It's our connection to the sun, IMF lines, right? They're broken in the middle anyway. Now, we see that often, okay? This isn't really that far out of the ordinary, what we're looking at here. But we keep moving forward. Okay, our pole lines are getting stretched back too, okay? But then they start going in all kinds of crazy directions. And then that right there, you see how we went from that to that? Look at the timestamp. 1804 to 1822. That was a safety shutdown for the satellite, okay? Because we get an image here every 4 minutes, but we went from 4 to 22. So it was down for 16 minutes. So we're missing 4 captures there. So we go from that, obviously, and then to that. And if we keep moving, and then you see our IMF lines get kind of balled up here and shot out the back too again. That isn't so out of the ordinary. We see that a lot. Now, I'm not saying that that's a normal thing. I'm just saying we see that a lot, okay? So, this is what bothered me the most, okay? IMF lines out here in front of our planet. Remember, we got low pressure, so, you know, this is trying to represent the bow shock. So if we go forward, what happens here? We start there, and then something happens right in the middle. Okay, it piles up right there, gets all centered right there. These lines should not be looking like this. The next capture is that. They start winding up on itself. It's just, it's not what we should be seeing, okay? And you can see us pushing back, because I think that's exactly what's happening here. Okay, and then we get hit again out in the front. Now remember, if our bow shock's pressed out pretty far, according to the Australian model, you know, it shouldn't really be doing any of that. And there was another hit right there. Okay? When we get hit, I expect to see some magnetic disruption. Okay? Don't get that twisted, because we definitely do. Okay? That's not something that's not expected, because it is. It's definitely expected. So, let me pull this over here. I'm going to put that away for a minute. So we'll look at this. This is right around our planet, guys. And this is showing pretty similar stuff to what we were seeing here. Okay? No pressure at all. That just floors me right there. But just watch what happens here. See how we get hit after hit after hit? But this is low dense stuff. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. We're just not having that much pressure. I mean, seriously, that's what's going on. That's why we're pushing out so far. It's not that we're getting continuously hit, because we're not. We are getting some hits, but... So if we look at the solar wind map itself... Yeah, let me reset that. This is the direction of the wind, okay? And that's trying to represent speed, but we don't typically try to look at that one, because that one will show speed sometimes of over 4 million miles per hour, and none of the other models ever show anything like that. including the models that show you an image every minute. This one's only every 4 minutes. So, yeah. And all these are going to like mimic each other, okay? Because they're getting their data from the same place. So they should be showing very similar stuff, just in a different visual. Okay? So you can see how we're kind of egg-shaped too right there. But something else I want to point out. You see how that is happening? I showed you guys that yesterday. I'm not sure why we're having that void right there. There's no heat getting built up there. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Alright, so this is the sun. Guess I'll zoom back in. So there's those sunspots that are training, okay? Let me show you the flare. And there's a CME right here too. It happened. You go back here. Okay, here's the flare. Watch it right here. I'll leave my mouse there. Bam. Right? That's the flare. Now watch what happens. And then it looks like plasma released. It looks like we, have a little bit of a CME with that flare. And if we look at the 171, we'll be able to see it better. Okay? Again, it's right in here. Man, it did. That disrupted the surface there pretty good. See how that's all hazy right now? Now watch. Flare. Right there. And then this. Wham. Okay? And it looks like it still could be erupting. Now, that's Earth facing. It doesn't necessarily is coming right at us. But that is pretty close to right in front of us. So, we'll have to pay attention to the angle of this. And we could be experiencing something from a CME here in about, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. Just depends. Here's the sun from the side. That's that CME right there, flare. See that? Let's see if we see it on this thing. This is the 304. This is really good for looking at filaments. Yep, watch this right here. I'm going to zoom in this time. So yeah, it's going to be pretty evident when I start rolling this through. Okay, so now I'll go forward. See that? So if I back it up, here's the flare. Right about there. You see it? So I do think that some of that plasma left the sun. We'll have to wait and see. But do you see what it did to the surface over here? So yeah. Then we got this stuff happening. We just got to pay attention right now, guys. It's really that simple. So yeah. Let me give me 1 second here, guys. Okay. So let's go over here to spaceweather.com, give you an update on this stuff. Okay. Strange Antarctic weather extends to the edge of space. All right, they're talking about the Noctilucent clouds again. And I actually misspoke on my last video. It's not because it's cold, too cold. It's actually the opposite. Noctilucent clouds is ice crystals that forms around meteor dust around the poles. Okay? They're blue, they're metallic blue in color. That's what they say it is. Okay? I don't have any other data to try to combat that or say that it's something different. So I'm going to go with that for now, their theory on that. But, it is, the moisture does wrap around. What causes that moisture? Well, in the summertime, on the poles, the glacier ice melt and adds moisture to the atmosphere, right? So that's kind of what they're saying. And so what happens is that moisture travels up to the highest part of our atmosphere, and it interacts with that meteor dust, and it's cold enough by then that it actually forms ice crystals, okay, around the meteor dust. So that's what you're seeing when you see Noctilucent clouds. And there is a season, like I said. There's a season for it. And why it's so significant right now is because it's way late. We're not seeing any. This is where we go to see it. Usually this is kind of like a light blue color right here all over the Antarctic right here. It should have started on November 21st, and it didn't. Okay? So, that does point to certain things that are going on globally. When we're talking about climate or anything else that we are talking about here, that really does show that there is massive glacier ice melt down there. Scott was talking about that the other day. He's been talking about it for a minute. He called into Mark Pyre's show and was actually talking about it there too. All that ancient glacier stuff was melted, and now what we're seeing is new ice. So when the temperature is too warm down there, obviously the glacier melt starts happening. We start getting a change in salinity, which means a change in salt content. And what that does is it causes other problems. And I explained this morning, just really, really quick, but I'm going to do it again really, really quick, okay? We all know about the Gulf Stream waters, right? From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. We've all heard that before. Well, the Gulf Stream travels this, follow my mouse, it goes up down through here like this. Okay, now, there are underground highways of water, is what a lot of people use to explain it. And they're global. There's roads, basically. They're highways of water. But to give you an idea of how important the Gulf Stream itself is, Moscow's about right here. Okay? London is about right here. They're basically on the same latitude line. In other words, they're as far north to the North Pole, they're at the same distance pretty much from the North Pole. So their climate should really be very similar. It's not. Moscow gets hard winters. We know this. This is one of the reasons why in World War II we were having issues, a lot of people dying because of the hard winters. Now, London doesn't experience that because of the Gulf Stream water. So the water travels down here, goes up here, and it's warm enough that it actually changes the air temperature. And it causes certain other things to happen that it keeps this London itself and England and all these other countries right here from having those hard winters that Moscow receives. So I say all that just to let you guys know that when the salinity changes, the salt content changes because of glacier melt, right? That disturbs these highways of water. It's like an ice cream churn. Most people know if you throw salt on ice, it helps you get it a lot colder, and that's the difference here, okay? It doesn't take much for those flows of highways to change direction when you start talking about temperature change in water. That's what happens. So if this changes, then guess what? The climate changes over here, especially. And it would affect stuff globally, really. So I hope that helps people understand what that is. But that's why I talk about that. And that's why when we see stuff like the Noctilucent clouds, we have to understand that what causes it. It's really warm weather that causes, you know, the Noctilucent clouds and stuff. So if we're not getting that, something's changed. And so, yeah, I explained that just a second ago. So, you know, the moisture interacting with the meteor dust high up in our atmosphere is what Noctilucent clouds are. That's what they say they are. I have no way to disprove what they said there as far as, you know, what exactly causes it. But, yeah. So if stuff is changing and we're not seeing Noctilucent clouds, we got to pay attention. Yeah, Ricky, you're right. Lots of volcanoes and stuff happening. So, if we look at the earthquakes right now. Now, remember what I said the other day. I'm going to change this back to... this is USGS, guys. And you guys know that what I've talked about before. This is 2.5 and above globally. Okay, so if we go here, we start noticing a couple earthquakes in kind of some weird places. There's one in Missouri. That just happened at, I don't know, 1 o'clock. That's probably Oklahoma. Yeah, that's not so out of the ordinary. But as we're looking at this, and then we see stuff happening out on the West Coast, obviously. Then we add all magnitudes. And this is what we get. So if we stay at this zoom level, you know, we can kind of sit here and say, well, that's a lot of swarming going on down here, but it's not really excessive from this viewpoint. If we zoom in, watch what happens right here in Nevada. Does that look like there's not much going on? Okay? It's just kind of crazy, guys. It really is. Look at all those. It's strange. It's not strange. I don't want to call it strange. It's really excessive. That's a lot of earthquakes. Now, I know Mike and Cindy over at Evolutionary Energy Arts talked about Yellowstone the other day, too. There were like 86 over in Yellowstone the other day. Exactly, Candace. Well said. Anomaly is the new normal. What's up, Infinite? How you doing? Nicholas. So, yeah. So, guys, if you guys go look at these things, you know, I even made the mistake yesterday. Tab and Ricky caught it. What's up, True News? We had a couple earthquakes. Well, I think it was one of these. It happened while we were looking at it, and it came in at like a 5.1, and then we seen another one at 4.4. And I thought they had pulled it down and plotted a new one and had the strength of it all jacked up. Well, that wasn't the case. I zoomed in, and when I did, I saw 2 more earthquakes right there, and that's what we were seeing. So, you know, yeah. So Ricky and who else? Tab was pointing that out. Say, hey, listen, no. You know, they corrected me, and thank you for doing that, because, you know, I was just telling you guys we need to zoom in, and then sit here. I sit here and did exactly what I told you guys. I didn't do exactly what I told you guys to go do. I really seriously, I thought it was just one earthquake, but that proves what I'm saying here. This doesn't look so impressive, does it? Until you start zooming in. Okay? And, you know, Ron Tyler over at Emergency Management Associates, he does a really good job of showing the seismos. I could show you seismos, but I wouldn't be, you know, saying much there. So yeah, I mean, I wish I could show you more on this, guys. I wish I had more. I wish I was more knowledgeable on that. But this is the Canadian one. Okay, this is a Canadian agency that shows earthquakes, and yeah. Before, a lot of people have asked me, why do the quakes stop at the border? Well, they don't. These agencies just don't share information sometimes. And that's what we see. So that's what I would say, you know. Unfortunately, that's what happens. I really wish it wasn't like that. I wish they could just share all across the planet, but they don't. You know, they just don't. But yeah. So yeah, guys. Again, I just I don't know sometimes, guys. I don't really know what to say sometimes when we're looking at this stuff. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, guys. Be a little lenient in there. I went over the chat rules, guys, at the beginning. Anybody that's kind of coming in late, we need to let everybody have their opinion, as long as they're not attacking anybody. Okay. You know, and again, passive aggressiveness qualifies as attacking people. But I do want to make sure that we're as lenient as we possibly can be. Okay? Please. Even though they might not agree with what we're saying or have the beliefs that we have, I do want them to have a place to come or wherever we can talk about it, because if we want people to believe what we're saying, well, they got to be here to hear us. So we can't just, like, you know, block them out like that, getting all crazy. Now, if they broke rules, that's one thing, okay? That's definitely a total different thing. So, can you view fires with quakes, Mark? I don't know how to view the fires with that. I don't know if you can do that on USGS or not. Hey, Ashley. Wolfie, what's up? So, yeah, I mean, that's it. All that stuff's kind of crazy to me. It really is. The Noctilucent cloud thing, we see this, you know, they're talking about these radio telescopes again, too. Also, they're talking about the Chinese ship that landed on the moon and got some more moon dust for the first time since 1976, I believe. I guess it's on its way back. I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but again, yeah, I got you. No, I wasn't going to go view that. I'm with you, Ashley. Thank you, though, for the reminder. I appreciate that. I just want to make sure that everybody really has a good place to come and we can talk and be respectful, but have different ideas and maybe, you know, share our ideas with other people, and maybe they'll start to see what we're seeing. That's my whole point here, you know. And for the most part, guys, we don't have much issue. I mean, we really don't. I've been in some chat rooms where the mods just have to keep axing people left, right. I mean, nuts. We've had that a couple times here, but not much. So, yeah. Yeah, you wonder that, don't you, Wolfie? That's, if the moon's ringing like a bell. The moon is missing here. Not quite sure if I understand, Stephanie. But did I miss a comment or something that kind of explains that? Oh, goodness, my back. But yeah, guys, if you guys are wanting to know more about the Schumann, please go visit Verte's channel. I think he was in here. I'm not sure. I don't think he's left yet. Birthday, if you're still here, man, drop your link. And guys, anybody that wants to drop links to the channels that they like, you know, as far as the mods and stuff where they're able to drop links, go ahead and do that to your own channel. So even if you want to, it doesn't bother me. Yeah, drop your link, Birthday, please. That way they know where to go. I appreciate you guys. Hey, George, what's up? What do I think about the large planet alignment? I talked about that briefly yesterday. We are going to have one here in the next week or so. Jupiter and Saturn are lining up with Earth. And I think even the moon might be lining up there somehow too. But regardless, that's happening. When we do know that sometimes planetary alignments can yank on us magnetically. And it could give us earthquakes and all kinds of crazy stuff. So see if you guys had any questions. I'm going to do this too here real quick. Show you guys this. Again, we got 1, 2, 3 sunspots right now. Now we're at 16% difference from last year. More activity. Hey D, what's up? Monster, what's up? Danielle, good to see you. I'm glad you're here, Danielle. I'm glad you found us. I really am. Ashley, thank you for doing that for me. I appreciate that. Axe. Yes, guys. Axe, I have to say, man, I'm really enjoying your channel. Guys, I turned this channel on the other night, and I bet I watched for 2 hours straight. Didn't even shut it off. Nacho, which is his wife, had me cracking up in some of those TikToks she was doing. I was cracking up. That was awesome. I loved it. Yes, everybody please go sub that. Well, you know what? Let's do this. I want to show it to you guys, and please hang around for a second, because I want you guys to see this. It's a really, they got a really, really good channel. It's really fun. Did you post anything today, Axe? I didn't see. I know you're here somewhere. There you are. Nope, that ain't it. Man, you just posted one. The heck is it? Where the heck did it go? Good night. Wow. Did you drop your link? I'm just going to put, click your link. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'm still subscribed. Make sure YouTube didn't jack me around there a little bit. So yeah, guys, this is what they do. This is what I'm talking about. Look at this. I'm gonna show a couple of these acts,
kill each other in the house.
So that way they get an idea.
Go outside and kill each other.
Let me turn my.
I was just walking around for the last 5 minutes looking for my keys. They were in my hand.
That's
just
Nacho.
walking around for the last 5 minutes looking for my keys. They were in my hand. I need to go back to bed.
Killing me.
Waiting for a good day to happen, Waiting around, the ups and downs,
Run before they find you. And
Ooh, look at that spider.
go save your family.
Wow.
How you doing? I'm Callan, and this is Slap-Cme.
Nope. This is slapped ham. Oh, poor little piggy.
Yeah, it's rude to the other people.
You're drunk.
You're sexy.
Listen, you have to stop this, all right? No more drinking. I'm sorry I even put it in your head.
I don't know. I don't even know what your problem is. I've never felt better. Okay, now I've never felt better.
Guys, go over and check that out. It's killing me. So, let's do this. You guys know where I'm heading. Here's Mark.
And then I'm very, very thin on the inside. I tried to cut as close to the edge as possible, so I almost had like an outside edge of a fur.
I'm going to go over here, guys, and spend a lot of time over here with Mark.
This outside.
He lost his grandfather a couple days
Not
ago.
probably. This is real hardware.
And he's really kind of relying on us to kind of bring him up. So let's go over here, show him some Wages World love. And I have to say this, you know, the Wages World family and the Real Talk family is pretty much the same family, guys. Everybody I've sent over there, and I think anybody in the chat could tell you right now that nobody's ever come back and said, man, I wish you'd never shown me Mark's channel. Okay? Face swaps, all kinds of crazy stuff. So, you know, guys, he lost his grandfather. Let's go over here and give him a lot of views right here real quick. And hang out. I'll be over here in the chat, okay? I really will. I stay in here. And we have a good time talking to each other. Well, heck, you guys can see who's in the chat now. A lot of these people you're probably recognizing. Because a lot of them are over here. Just saying. Okay? So let's go over and do that. That's right. We're heading over there, Axe, for sure. For sure. But just listen, guys, we got to support each other. And this is why I do this. Because it needs to be done. You know? Sometimes if we don't support each other, none of this stuff gets out. And it takes us to do it. We can't count on YouTube to do it. So let's go over and check this out. I will see everybody over there. I will see you guys tomorrow morning for space weather update. If anything else happens, I will definitely come back and give you guys an update. Okay? But you know, like I said, I hope you guys are understanding that, and the people that wanted a shorter video, I'm starting to do that in the mornings now for you guys. I hope you guys appreciate that. It's what I used to do anyway. So let's go over here, hang out with Mark, and show him some love. So, God bless. Yahusha saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid. Thanks to all my mods.